Niall, it's great to have you on the programme. What do you make of this ban and the slight reprieve that seems to be happening here, this 2-week period for people to apply for exemptions? Will they do that, or is that just the responsible people who are the owners of these dogs who will do that, and those who aren't responsible will fall through the net once again?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. We know there's going to be lots of people who own these dogs that could care less about the welfare of their dog, and they're not really going to go out of the way to apply for the exemption. The exemption costs money. A lot of people just don't have it to hand to spend, and unfortunately it's those owners and their dogs that are going to be the ones that suffer for it, and the people that are applying for it tend to be those that are a bit more ahead and a bit more responsible.
Niall, you have trained XL bully dogs. Can there be, I mean, like, no dog is entirely a safe dog. I wouldn't leave any dog with young children, for example, even if it's the friendliest, happiest, most loving dog, because you just never know what can happen. But do we demonise XL bully dogs? Because there do seem to be a heck of a lot of them involved in various attacks.
Yeah, there's obviously, because of these attacks, people are more wary of them. They are seeing them as a threat. And you can't just say that it's down to the owner of that dog and how they raise them, because I know plenty of people who are incredibly well-meaning owners who do everything right, but they still have issues with their dog. And that doesn't just go for XL bullies, although there does seem to be more of a trend towards that. I think that may come down to breeding as much as ownership, because with poor breeding come poor genetics, come more behavioural issues and more of a hair trigger for violence.
Let's ask both you, Niall, but first, Lucy Beresford, the psychotherapist. Why would someone get an XL bully dog? I'm not a dog owner. If I were to get a dog, it absolutely would not be an XL bully dog. But some people want them, some people love them. Why would someone get one, do you think?
Well, I can't help feeling that it is because of the brand that it conveys, that it conveys something quite aggressive, it conveys something quite macho, and some people like to have a pet that's intimidating. They want to feel that they're walking around the streets with something that inspires fear in other people. And what we don't hear enough of are cuddly grandparents saying, oh yes, I have an XL bully dog, and they're really nurturing or they're really loving. You only ever hear about the people who own them and who have them almost as a status symbol.
Well, Niall, do those people exist? Are there people who love their dogs and they're lovely, cuddly, wonderful, happy dogs? I mean, it seems to me, and maybe this is just media image or whatever, but are there people who there are clearly people, I'm sure you've met, who have them for a status symbol, and that is the case, and that is what people see often when they see these dogs? Yeah,
I think because I'm a trainer,
yes,
the people who own them irresponsibly aren't coming to me. So I don't meet those people that you've just mentioned there.
So who are the people coming to you? Tell us about them.
It's the responsible owners. It's those that want to make sure they're doing the right thing. I can think of 5 or 6 off the top of my head that I would trust with my own dogs tomorrow, because they're so proactive and they are so thoughtful and they are doing everything they can for their dogs. I don't get the people who get them as a status symbol coming to me because they think they can do it themselves and they don't really care if it goes wrong anyway.
So what actually happens in society? What changes in a few weeks' time when this ban comes in? Because we have what the law says and we have what's actually done and what is actually the case. What do you think life is going to look like for these owners, Niall?
I know a lot of them are just absolutely terrified at the minute because they don't know what's going to happen. I think this fear of the unknown is really putting a strain on certain owners' mental well-being, those owners that are worried that people are judging them, they're worried that public perception has changed because of the ban coming in and obviously the news and social media covering so much of it. They feel like they're in the spotlight, they feel like people are watching, and I think that's going to make it even harder for them to do right by their dogs, because the dog is aware that they're scared, they're aware that they're terrified, but the dog doesn't know it's because of some legal change. The dog just knows that they're scared and can't think why, and this is going to make them even more likely to behave in ways that we don't want them to.